not to worry. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're super busy.
Thank
We
you.
have a lot of people who joined, so I'm going to go ahead and formally say hello, everyone. Welcome to our Power Lunch Live. My name is Andrea from Altitude Connections, and welcome to all our listeners out there. Today, we will be featuring and speaking with Dr. Hani Sinno. Dr. Sinno is a distinguished plastic surgeon who has devoted his life to enhancing the beauty and confidence of his patients. He obtained his medical degree from McGill University, followed by an aesthetic surgery fellowship at Harvard Medical School in aesthetics and reconstructive surgery. Since 2017, he is the medical director of Victoria Park Downtown Eddie Spa in Montreal, Canada. His passion for aesthetics didn't stop at surgeries alone, but extended into very successful injectables practice. Dr. Sinno has lectured along various pharmaceutical companies, including Galderma, Merz and Allergan, other doctors and nurses on different non-surgical techniques and injectable products. His injectables practice is known for its high level of expertise, safety, and patient satisfaction. Patient satisfaction, exactly. So, welcome.
Thank you, Andrew. Very sweet to have me. I appreciate you. You know how much I love you and what you do, so I truly appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you again for always supporting us in our sip and shop, in our events. It's so nice that you're always giving back to the community. I really appreciate that, and I want to make sure I highlight that.
Thank you.
So now let's get to you before we
Yes.
run out of people's lunchtime. Tell us about you, your background, how you started, what brought you to Canada. Tell us a little bit about you first.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to bore your audience too much, but as you know, I'm originally Lebanese, so I'm a child of war. We were kicked out of Lebanon multiple times, actually. I still remember growing up with rockets above our heads. I had the privilege to be able to have a safe haven in the Persian Gulf with my parents to Bahrain. Okay. Unfortunately, another war happened, the first Gulf War. They decided to attack Iraq, so we had to flee again, and we came to Canada. We're very privileged and lucky to have a country to keep us safe here.
True.
So yeah, there was multiple back and forth after we came in. I stayed here in Canada for my education. You know, people talk about success, and I truly believe, Andrea, that it's really a mindset. If you look at all the studies to see, you know, the first generation immigrants and how the success changes with time, it's that feeling of scarcity and fear of the future that you kind of really want to push yourself, and every day is not a struggle, but it's a
it's a challenge, right? It could be a positive challenge.
Yeah, you want to work hard every day. It's not like there's no rest. I mean, until you know, you meet your Lord in heaven. So it's a lot of hard work, but the hard work pays off. Obviously, like I try to teach my kids, the more you do something, the better you become. So you do it more over and over, repetition. And you know, I'm very grateful to have being blessed by God and my friends and family community to support me, and that's where I am right now.
That's nice. That's wonderful. Good for you. And and what made you decide to go in what you're doing in your domain? It's when you arrived to Montreal, you decided or you had that?
I'm Lebanese, Arabic. So you know, us Arabs, I think you know this very well. We have three choices as a male. You can either be an engineer, a doctor, or go into business.
True.
So yeah. So early on, my mom kept kind of pushing me into medicine. I still remember as an 8-year-old, he's going to become a doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was getting straight A's in all my studies.
Okay.
So I had the opportunity to be able to do that. And when I went to university, I thought about doing architecture. So because I'm very creative, I like drawing. But I also wanted to help people physically with my hands. So I started shadowing different architects, different doctors, because those were my two options. And I really I liked that patient contact. So I said, you know what? I want to be a heart surgeon. I want to save lives.
Oh.
Then I got into med school at McGill, and I realized that heart surgery was a little bit boring for me. It's an amazing surgery, but it's almost the same surgery done over and over again. And I wanted a little bit more challenge, a little bit more artistic ability. So I saw different specialties. And in plastic surgery, the first surgery that I ever saw, and I have the privilege to say that I performed this surgery and to my patients, a jaw reconstruction, tongue reconstruction after a shotgun wound self-inflicted with a 17-year-old kid who tried to commit suicide because his girlfriend left him.
Oh.
So he lost half his face, nose, mouth, jawline, and the maxilla, half the face. So the surgeon that I was working with took his fibula, so the bone in the lower leg,
Yes.
with all the muscles, the nerves, the arteries, did microsurgery into the jawline, and he looked not that bad. So we gave this young 17-year-old man a chance to go back into society and live.
Wow.
And so we could do that in medicine, and that's where I fell in love with plastic surgery.
That's amazing. Wow, that's so touchy too, that not only you want to be creative, but you want to help people come back and feel good about themselves.
Andrea, I think it's the war that helped me to get there. Being so young, seeing poverty all around me, people begging, kids my age begging for money with no limbs. So that early on, I felt that empathy and connection to people that need help, and I felt like I had the privilege to be able to help in some way. So why not?
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. It's great to hear that. So after you graduated you started in 2017?
Medicine. So I did undergrad at McGill until 2002 to 2006 in medical school in McGill. Then I did residency until 2012. During residency, my dad always wanted me to be an engineer. He's an engineer. So I decided on my part-time, I did a master's in biomedical engineering.
Okay.
And so that was doing that concomitantly with my residency. And then I did a fellowship at Harvard for aesthetics and breast reconstruction.
Okay.
I finished that in 2013, and I came back to Montreal, and I started practicing.
I see. Okay, so you started practicing in Montreal, and then you got into director of a clinic?
No, so my plan always was to do 10 years of reconstruction.
Okay.
So I started with actually 4 different hospitals. I was recruited by the Jewish General Hospital, which is the biggest hospital in Quebec.
Yes.
And because I did a lot of, my passion was breast cancer reconstruction.
Okay.
And that's what I did in Harvard. So I set up a microsurgery program here, and I set up another immediate construction at Cité La Santé in Laval.
All right.
But then I got the opportunity to join Vic Park Medispa after 7 years of practice.
Okay.
Thank you, Victor. Sorry, we had the low battery on my iPads. Victor was helping.
Okay, that's okay. Oh no, the last thing I want is you getting cut off. So.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're at 5%, so we're good now.
Oh boy.
So yes, so I had the opportunity to join the Medispa, and I was like, it's 3 years ahead of schedule, but why not? And at this point, unfortunately, as you know, our healthcare system is crumbling in Quebec and Canada, worldwide in general. So it was very difficult for me to continue to be at the hospital with their conditions there. Their expectations is for us to see more than 110 patients a day. There's zero benefits whatsoever that come to the doctors. We have to pay everything out of our pocket to be able to see patients. Like, it was just not an environment that was very conducive for my psychological health. Nurses were being overworked as well. It was just like very difficult. So the true heroes are the heroes that are still in the hospitals taking care of patients. So I really commend them. So I started the Medispa, and 3 years later, I stopped the hospital completely.
Okay.
And I'm just here now.
And now you're able to service clients the way you want, with expertise, with patience, taking your time, explaining, You know, it's the whole experience.
Exactly. That's I mean, look, so I learned that in Harvard. So here in McGill, and as you know, McGill is one of the best universities in the world. When I
Correct.
got into
Yes.
medicine, it was number 6 worldwide. It's probably a little bit lower now. So at McGill, I learned how to be a good, fast surgeon because it's a public system. Yalla, yalla, yalla. Come on, come on, come on. Let's do it.
Right.
Finish the surgery. Go next, next, next. We have 100 patients waiting on the wait list for this week alone. So
True.
I learned how to be a good, fast surgeon. When I went to Harvard, it's a private system. So there, a patient is not a liability. They're not wasting resources like they are here in the hospital. The government here in the hospital allocates, let's say, I'm making up a number, 50 million a year you have to spend. So if a patient comes and gets a surgery, they're spending money from the hospital. So they have less money to be able to allocate to services. In the US, patients come to the hospital for surgery, they're paying the hospital. They're bringing resources. So a completely different system. There, the customer is always right. There, a breast reduction, a simple situation, here would take me 1 to 2 hours to perform in Quebec.
Okay.
There, it would take us 5 hours, the same surgery. So,
Wow.
and the consults, I'll be seeing here in Quebec 110 patients a day. So imagine 5 minutes to 2 minutes per patient. In my office now, I take an hour and a half, depending on what the patient needs.
Okay, that's very important.
Yeah, you want the patient.
And that's reassuring.
Yeah, of course, you want the patient to understand what they're getting themselves into. You want them to,
of course,
understand what the complications can look like, what the recovery could look like, as opposed to next.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, do you want to share with us what do you do and what do you offer at the clinic?
Oh, thank you, Andrea. Of course. So my passions in surgery, and surgery obviously is my biggest passion in my practice and work, is breast surgery, which is what got me famous in Quebec, I would say. But because, I say this humbly, like I said, I've been doing this for 12 years. Because I've been doing so much and I've had the privilege to help over 25,000 patients, I feel like breast surgery has become very easy in most cases. So I want to challenge myself. So around 5 years ago, I started doing a lot of noses, rhinoplasty, which to me is probably the most difficult surgery that we perform in plastic surgery. It's very challenging, but I love the challenge. It's amazing. And we have such great results, so I'm continue doing it. And face and neck lift. So that's what I went to Harvard to train for, and that's what I love doing as well. So those are the 3 surgeries I love doing the most.
So breast, nose,
and facelifts, yeah.
Face and neck.
Yeah, face and neck. And I have a big injectable practice. As you mentioned, I do a lot of paid teaching events. So I get paid to go around the world and teach other doctors and nurses. I actually have a course tomorrow, a cadaver course, where we're teaching 25 doctors and nurses anatomy and how to inject, ultrasound. So it's a truly fun, diverse type of practice I have. It's a privilege.
Oh, how nice. And injectables, meaning?
Fillers, basically, neuromodulators, Botox, Dysport, Xeomin, Lativo, those kind of things.
Okay. And anything related with facial and special therapy for the face and skin, or no, mainly?
Of course, yeah. I'm privileged to be part of an amazing group in our Medi Spa. And my technicians, my nurses, they do help our patients to have the 360 holistic approach for their aesthetic rejuvenation and journey. So I do mostly the structural work, the work that needs to be done by the surgical expertise of a surgeon, such as surgery or fillers or injectables. And for lasers, dermabrasions, needle, chemical peels, that goes with my technicians and nurses.
I see. Okay, nice. Wow, you do a lot. That's great. And you also sell creams and beauty products?
Absolutely, yes. So Andrea, it's the quote, I'm sure you know this, if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Yes.
So if you only know how to do one thing, or you only have one type of technology, you're going to offer that technology to whatever comes through your door. Here at Vic Park in my practice, we have multiple different modalities to help each patient with their specific unique issue or problem or what they're concerned about. And that's the added benefit that's coming here.
Wonderful. That's really, truly the whole experience. That's great. I mean, I know you can't, everybody will ask you that, but what is the latest on the market? Is it something you offer? Do you want to give us the latest trending beauty tips or surgery?
Yeah, of course. I actually just read an article yesterday on marijuana,
Okay.
marijuana and wrinkles. In fact, Victor was sitting beside me. He was an amazing
Hi,
nurse.
Victor.
Hi,
How are
everyone.
you? He's great.
He's amazing. So Victor's been working with us for 3 years, and he's doing a spectacular job here with his injectable practice and lasers. But he shared with me an article, so thank you, Victor. Give credit where credit is due, about this article on marijuana and wrinkles. So I looked more deep into it because you could read a lot of things, but you have to see it from a lens of a surgeon or a doctor to weed out the false type of gimmick words that they may use. But in fact, THC and CBD does have some antioxidants, so it can help find lines and wrinkles. So it's like red wine. Red wine has a lot of potential health benefits, like cardiac protective, but there's also a lot of harm that could occur with alcohol. So marijuana is the same thing. There's some promotion of that could be an anti-wrinkle, even just smoking it or ingesting it. But there's also a lot of harm that can occur with it. So I'm not trying to promote marijuana or alcohol, but I'm just trying to sensitize people out there that
yes, you have to be careful what you say.
and of course, I mean, I'm telling you, but I'm reminding myself as well.
Yes, I know.
So there are some trends to push people for things like marijuana here in Canada because it's become legal. But you have to kind of be worried about the risks and side effects that can occur with it, such as paranoia and anxiety, that people take it for that, but they actually get the opposite from it. But the general trend worldwide is going back to natural, Andrea. Oh. So we've had, in the past 7 years, a trend for going very huge, very big lips, big overdone cheeks, big butts, Brazilian butt lift. True. And it's mostly because of Kylie Jenner's lips, for instance, or Kim Kardashian's butt. And now people are going and reverting back to the natural, which is something I've always promoted. So I'm very, very grateful. Yeah, when it comes to modalities in surgery, there is a new modality called the piezo ultrasonic rhinoplasty, which has changed my practice. In the past 3 years now, I would say, we use this machine that sculpts the nose as opposed to breaks or filing down. It's so much more precise, and the swelling and healing is so much reduced. It's 80% reduction. In fact, Victor, do you mind if I share with you? Of course, yeah. So Victor is very generous, and he's allowing us to share his story. He's actually 2 weeks? 2.5. 2.5 weeks. He's 2.5 weeks after rhinoplasty. How could it's incredible. Look at how you can't tell he has swelling or bruising, and his nose. I'm very grateful that he has an amazing looking nose. Thanks to you. Yeah, thank you. But you can't tell. That's the added benefit.
That's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like crazy, huh? Yeah. So my patients, they get also hyperbaric oxygen after surgery to minimize the bruising, swelling, and maximize the healing, oxygenation. We also do PRP, platelet-rich plasma, including fat grafting or any other facelifts. We mix it and put it into the area of the surgical site. So there's a lot of these small little details that can do a profound effect of the healing and recovery for the patients, because no one has time now. Everyone's on Instagram. They want, or TikTok, dopamine surge. They want instant.
That's right. So I want to look like this. That's what people say.
That's it. They want now. We can't wait 2 years for the result. Yeah. So we do have some tricks to also minimize the recovery periods from that. Okay. And the last newest trend in face and neck lift is the deep plane face and neck lift. So with all honesty, I went to Harvard and learned how to do a mask plication. So it's the older technique of face and neck lift, which gave my patients amazing results. But with a deep plane face and neck lift that I went 2 years ago to train with Dr. Nayak in St. Louis, it's really transformed the results that I could be able to give to my patients to a huge different level. With the beautiful jawline, there's the lifting effect of this type of technique brought my results to a really completely different level. My patients are very, very happy with it. So multiple new things, depending on what you're looking for. It is 2024, so we're very, very lucky. And of course, AI helps. We have AI that helps remodel the face. We're able to show patients before and afters a little bit more easily. So exciting times for the aesthetic.
That is exciting. Oh my God, you have so much to share. I didn't even get to your to your hobbies and to your passion, but you answered most of the questions. So before we wrap up, because we were running out of time, do you have anything new coming up? Any future plans that you want to share or not yet?
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, I'm always teaching. I'm always part of conferences because I want to stay in touch and up to date for all our patients, bringing the best technology to our patients. I never experiment with my patients, which is something I'm very proud of. I want to make sure that something is time tested and secure and safe. I have the privilege to be on stage, it's a national stage again, in June, so stay tuned for that. We have a new product coming out for chin augmentation by Galderma, so I'm going to be one of the lead researchers on that and presenters, so I'm excited for that. That's June 1st.
Congratulations.
So we're going to share with you a little bit more. Thank you, thank you. It's a true honor. In fact, I'm one of the 6 doctors worldwide that have been selected for this.
Wow.
And Canada is the first country in the world to be selected. Oh.
Woohoo.
Yeah, so there's multiple different companies that are Health Canada approved, Juvederm, Restylane, Teoxane, MERS. I have to mention all of them because I can't select, as a doctor, I can't just select one.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, there's multiple. Though this one just happened to be Restylane Shake. So I'm not going to say too much about it, but it's a bone mimicking type of filler, and it creates a more natural look if someone's looking for a nice chin augmentation. At the beginning of this year, I helped launch Latibo, which is the newest type of Botox. So I went across the country and we presented across the nation about this new filler that's been on the market for 10 years in Korea. In fact, it's even more popular than Botox in Korea. 60% of Botox is done with Latibo. So I brought this to Canada as well. So it's a lot of exciting new technology.
Wow, there's a lot.
Yes.
And the list goes on. Congratulations.
Thank
so
you.
proud of you. Your parents must be very proud of you too.
You're very sweet.
And do you have time to balance between family and work? Because you seem to be very devoted to your work. So,
you know, if you ask me, yeah, I always feel like I have been. If you asked me 3 years ago what time you finish work, maybe 4 years ago, I would say I go home by 10 p.m. every day. You want to be successful, you got to put in the time, you got to work. But these days, honestly, I'm very blessed that it's like the story of the grasshopper and the ant that I remind my kids all the time about. The ant works all summer, day after day, preparing food, like finding food here and there, bringing it back to its home, its burrow, and saving that food for the winter coming.
Right.
The grasshopper is jumping, dancing, having a great time. Winter comes, the ant is the one that's celebrating in its burrow, and the grasshopper is actually, I don't tell my kids this, but the grasshopper is dead, you know? I tell my kids the grasshopper knocks on the ant's door, and the ant, with its generosity and kindness, allowed it to come in and share the wealth. But it's the same thing. You work hard now, you put in the effort now for years, and then you reap the rewards later. I'm reaping my rewards now. So I finish work around 4 p.m. every day. And I'm able to enjoy my kids and my life. It's really a blessing.
Wonderful. That's a blessing. Good for you. I'm very happy for you, honestly, from all my heart.
Thank you.
You're a hard worker. You made it very successful, and hopefully more to come. So this live podcast or interview will be transferred to Spotify and YouTube. So for the ones that missed it, can always jump in and hear it later on. And if they need to reach out to you, they call the clinic, right?
Yes.
For a consultation. I'm sure you have consultations.
Of course, yeah. Easy number, 514 Dr. Sinno. It's just my name, 514 Dr. Sinno.
I need to do that. I need to do a 514 Ask Andrea.
That's it. Ask Andrea. Altitude is an amazing. I have to congratulate you, Andrea, for all you've done. You know, you're helping our community, so that's why it's a privilege to be able to support you in any way, anything you do.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Have a great afternoon. Have a great weekend, and we'll be in touch.
Bye-bye.
Bye.